I put together this based on really the 8 things that I wish that I would have known when I was first getting started. So as I go through this, I'm going to be sharing a little bit about my own Feng Shui journey, and then of course some of the journey that I've had with my clients. So I'm really excited to just get started. One of the things I did want to mention is that it seems like when people are getting started, there's a lot of confusion. You know, what I find, a lot of people that come to me are confused because there's a couple different schools of thought. There's a lot of different information online. People are like, do I use the compass or do I not? You know, or I've read this, and then when I go to apply it to my own space, I'm confused. And so I'm hoping the way I do Feng Shui is I want to make it very down to earth, very simple, and very approachable so that you can actually get a result. Because there's nothing worse than trying to do something with Feng Shui and then you can't even figure out how to apply it. So I want to break all that down and just make it really fun and really like simple. So just really quick, just a quick synopsis on me. First of all, it's so great to meet you guys. My name is Jen Boyd, and I've been a Feng Shui consultant for 20 years. And through my process of working with hundreds of clients all over the United States, even a couple clients in different countries, I created my Harmony Blueprint Feng Shui program, which is it's a 6-week program, but you actually have lifetime access. You have, there's a lot of self-study, but then also a lot of one-to-one where we really help you align, design, and optimize the energy in your home so that you can really create a peaceful space that really supports your prosperity and well-being and relationships. And so that's really what I help my clients do. So when I'm not doing Feng Shui, which I work a lot of my business, I'm at the barn with my horse. So this is my mare, Rio. She just turned 20. And she is, if there's any horse people out there, horses are pretty magical. And for a person that is like really into energy, we do a lot of we do ride, but this is a picture of us doing Liberty, and it's amazing just the connection of horses. So when I'm not doing Feng Shui, I'm at the barn with her. And then also this past year, I had a really exciting thing. I did start a YouTube channel. So I guess I'm calling myself like a YouTuber. I guess that's what people do. So if you're ever interested, I mean, I post a lot of my YouTube videos in the group. You can also check out my YouTube channel if you want. There's tons of resources on like Feng Shui and all that kind of stuff. So that's just about me. But let's bring this really back to you, because what I've noticed is probably this might sound like you. Maybe you've been curious or interested in Feng Shui for a while, but maybe you're confused and maybe you're just kind of seeking some simple, down-to-earth advice. You know, a couple of you mentioned you're moving into, building, or renovating a home, and maybe you're just seeking a framework to ensure that you really create that well-designed home that flows with positive energy. Or, you know, maybe, and this is how I got started with Feng Shui, you're just looking to create a new flow of energy or a new direction in your life. I mean, that's how I got started with Feng Shui 20 years ago. I was in a corporate marketing job, and although I was going up the ladder and, you know, on paper, my life looked great, when I realized I needed some change, I needed to change the energy, and that's how I found Feng Shui, and I was able to change my life. You could also be an entrepreneur that works from home and you want to create a really prosperous environment to help you succeed. So that is typically what I find people are interested in. So let's get started on this actual, like how, you know, the 8 tips. And so let me just say this. When I got started in 2001, I started reading Feng Shui books like I mentioned, out of my own need to really create more balance and harmony in my life. And I felt so inspired because I was like, oh my gosh, I can make changes to my space. And I right away, like after I made changes to my space, like I got a promotion, I got a raise. You know, I noticed that relationships were getting better. And I was like, all I'm doing is changing my environment. This is weird. This is crazy. And then I like helped my girlfriends. I helped my mom like Feng Shui her home, and she got like a new job, and I saw all these things happening. I was so inspired that I actually went in 2003 to the Western School of Feng Shui in San Diego, and I got certified. So I've been working with clients for a long time. But here's the deal. I remember what it's like when I was just getting started. And I remember some of the mistakes that I made. And I also remember feeling just kind of overwhelmed. And so I wanted to kind of share this today so that we can kind of make this simple for you guys. So the first thing, so that's what, this is like the 8 things that I wish I would have known 20 years ago when I was getting started. So the first thing is really to start with your intention. And I just want to mention before we get started, if you guys have questions as we go through, we can kind of get to the end. If you have a question, let me know, and then I can also answer them at the end. So the first thing is really when you're getting started is to identify your intention. And the reason why we start here is because a lot of times you might be thinking, when you're getting started with Feng Shui, where do I start in my house? What do I need to do first? You know, where do I get started? And I know when I was getting started with Feng Shui, I tried to do the whole house at one time, and it was crazy. And I had moved so many different things and thrown out stuff and moved stuff and set so many intentions. And while I could see the energy, like definitely like improving, there was a moment there where I had a lot of energy flying around all at one time. And so I made so many changes so quickly that sometimes it felt like a little overwhelming. So looking back, one of the problem that I realized was that I wasn't really starting with a clear intention. I would like read a book and it would say like, okay, put this element here or move this thing or whatever. And so I was moving energy. But one of the things that, and like we talk about this a lot in the program, is really first to start with your intention. Because once you start with your intentions, then that really makes it clear, okay, where do I start in my house? What do I need to move? So a lot of times just getting clear on what is it you want to change in your life? It could be your relationships. It could be attracting a new job. It could be creating a new energy flow in some aspect of your life. Whatever it is, get clear on that first before you try making a bunch of changes to your house. It just makes it a lot easier. And this will ensure that you're actually going to get a result. Because if you're just moving things around, like if you just like read something online and it says, okay, put this element here or move this thing here, but you're not really clear on your intention, you're just kind of moving things. And so that's the power of Feng Shui, which actually means wind, water. So we're marrying our thoughts and our mind with our physical environment. When we're adding our intention, that's when things get really clear and it makes Feng Shui work. So that would be one of the things that I would start with, is really get clear on what is it you want to create? What is it you want in your life? What's most important? How do you want to feel? What do you want to experience? And then begin to make changes in your space. And once you get that cleared, once you're clear on what your intention is, then we can dial into the Bagua, which is the Feng Shui map. And the Feng Shui map is really like the key. And this map is thousands of years old. It's based on the natural flow of life. And what we're doing with the Bagua is we're placing it on our house. You can place it on a piece of property, on a house, on a room, on your desk. I mean, I've even like arranged a collage of artwork on a wall using the Bagua. So it's really ubiquitous. It can go very big or very small. But the Bagua is really kind of like the key aspect of using Feng Shui, and it becomes really like your friend. So if you're looking for a new house, you can use the Bagua and you can see how that's going to be, you know, how the energy of the house is going to lay out. Like I have some real estate agents in my program, and you know, they love that because they understand what's happening, or even people that are just using it to buy a new house. As well as if there's key areas of your life that you want to change or enhance, you can see we've got like the 9 key areas. So career, knowledge, which represents kind of like our career journey, any opportunities in life. Knowledge and self-cultivation has to do with our personal development and our self-study and our academia. You know, family and ancestors has to do with the past and any like our root system. Prosperity is anything that we place value on. So whether it's our home or our financial investments, and of course, prosperity means different things to different people. So really kind of dialing in what it is you value and placing an intention there. External recognition is all about your reputation in life, how you're seen, what you're known for, and really placing that, getting that momentum of life going. Love and marriage honors our relationships, and it starts with the relationship with yourself. So really dialing in that energy is important. Creativity in children is all about fun, and it's kind of the balance of fun as well as creativity, and also because it's associated with the metal element, it's like also discipline and order and routine. So we're kind of using that. And then helpful people in travel is considered the most Yangua in the Bagua, and it's really where we're honoring those helpful people in our life, whether it's a neighbor or a client or a friend or a mentor, or a spiritual guide. You know, these are all the areas. And then, of course, in the center of the Bagua, we're honoring our health. So our spiritual, physical, and emotional health. And the whole idea is that with the energy in the center, we want to be grounded and centered in the center of the Bagua and have life flow gently around us. So this becomes very powerful because then we can use the Bagua to really see what area of our life that we want to focus on, number one, for our intention. And number two, then we can start to see, and it's really amazing, the stories of people are like, okay, I want to work on this area of my life. And then you start to see what's happening in that area of their home. And it's really incredible. Like, you know, what will show up there. And sometimes things need to be added or subtracted to really balance the energy. So the Bagua is really important. And once you get your intention identified, then you can start to work with this map to really uplift the energy. Sorry, I had to get some water. And I'd also want to clarify, there are two forms of Feng Shui. There's one that uses the compass to lay the map down. I use the Western modern version of Feng Shui, where we're actually laying the Bagua down based on the location at the front door. And again, I have a lot of people that come to me that say that they want something simple and practical, and that's what this version of Feng Shui does. So the map is really powerful and it's important. And then you can just start to use this to start to place your intentions. Let's see here. Okay, so as you're going through this, you might wonder, am I going to mess it up? If I put something wrong, if I put something in an area of my house, am I going to mess it up? And I want to assure you that you can't do it wrong. You know, it's kind of like, I truly believe that any intention that you're placing with positive energy and love, that it's going to have a positive impact. And even with the 5 elements, even if you're still trying to figure out like where to put the 5 elements for balance, and I know that sometimes it can seem tricky in the beginning, but if you're really working to put things in the areas and you're doing it with a full heart, if something is a little bit off, I wouldn't worry about it. You know, it's like the whole idea here is that you're going to make friends with the energy in your home and let that energy really support you and leverage all these key areas of the life. So I just want you to rest assured that as you're learning Feng Shui, you can't mess it up. You can't do it wrong. The really most important thing is to just start making a few tweaks and changes and see how your life changes and how it feels, and have fun. That's kind of the main important thing. Okay, let's see. Okay. And then number 4, subtle changes do make a big difference. So this is the other thing too. Like when I was getting started, I thought I really had to make, like a grand, you know, a grand energy change, you know, like throw out a bunch of stuff. And what I found through the years is that that's not required. It's not at all. Subtle changes and things set with an intention can really make a huge difference. Something small, even like setting something in your prosperity corner that represents what you value. And sometimes it's just zeroing in on even one small thing that has a lot of energy, a meaningful item that's either supportive or unsupportive of your intentions, and either add it or change it or remove this item. And then you'll just find out all of a sudden you really got this powerful intention set. So the other thing really want to stress is it's not about getting the whole house done. It's really not. It's really about just setting a couple things, working with the energy, even slowly. But even like what Tootsie was mentioning, you know what I mean? It's like she's got a few things in place and she can already notice like a change. So I want to just you to, I don't want you to feel like you have to do some grandiose major change to your house to get feng shui to work or to shift the energy. Sometimes it's even just a subtle, easy change that maybe it's adding in the 5 elements or taking out something that doesn't seem to support you anymore. Or maybe adding in something that is very, very intentional, that is supportive of what you're really trying to create. Tip number 5 is to just get started where you are. So oftentimes I've heard from clients over 20 years that, well, I'll wait to get started on my feng shui when I move or when we build or, when we're actually in the right house. And I would love to encourage you to start your feng shui right where you are. It doesn't matter if you're in a studio apartment or if you're in your dream home, if you're in your forever home, starting right where you are with some simple changes can make a huge difference. So just start right where you are. You don't have to wait till you move to your next house. And in fact, you can use the house that you're in now. Let's say you are wanting to move. Maybe you're wanting to make a big change. You can use the space that you're in right now to help support you attract that new space to you. So again, just really start right where you are. Are there any, before we go any further, are there any questions so far? Is there anything that I've covered that anybody, trying to see, any questions so far, anything? Everybody's okay? Okay, good, all right. Let's see here. And here's a really powerful idea. One of the most important things, because a lot of times people will ask me, if I could do one thing to my house, what would I do? And I always like to stress the importance of the artwork. So if you want to make one significant change to your home, I would love to share to look at your artwork. And if you are looking to up level the energy in your home, this is a great investment to make, is to buy a piece of artwork that really sings, that really makes your heart sing. Think about it like this. The artwork in your house is really telling the story of your life. So, and it's at eye level. So if you're thinking about it, feng shui works with your reticulating activator system in your brain. And so it's kind of like, what are you seeing on a regular basis? So even now, think about the artwork in your house. Is it telling the story of your life today? Is it relevant to today? Does it feel good today? A lot of times, and I've even done this in my own house, and I have to catch myself sometimes, we will hang up a piece of artwork and then we'll just kind of leave it there. And that's not necessarily bad, except that when we're looking to make a change in our life, then we're like, gosh, I feel like the energy's stuck. And so when we change the artwork, that really opens the door for that. So let's see, we've got a question here. Okay, so Marcy says, I'm having the hardest time with artwork. We started from scratch. Marcy, tell me a little bit more about what's challenging for you with the artwork. Is it finding the right piece or what's happening? Oh, can you unmute yourself?
So with most of the artwork that we acquire being over a lifetime, mostly essential pieces, I'm just finding it hard because we're just started from scratch with, we have a small place in Arizona too. So all of our pieces that belong to us, really are there. So we just remodeled this house and, so it's like a canvas now, but I have no art and I am totally stuck. So frozen, finding the pieces and finding the right colors and the inspiration and not buying things that are too cheesy, that have meaning, but we don't have an expansive budget either. So, that type of situation.
Well, yeah, and for sure. And so that's what's really helpful when you're using the Bagua, because then you can say, okay, Like, what are my main intentions? Maybe it's we want to honor our family, right? Or maybe it's prosperity, or maybe it's relationships or whatever. And then you can kind of dial in to go, okay, well, I want to anchor something in the far left corner of my house to anchor prosperity, to anchor our wealth, right? And so maybe that helps you like dial in, like, or narrow down, like, well, what am I going to choose? You know what I mean? And then that helps you get some more ideas on what we would put there. Or like if it's your relationship corner, maybe it's finding a favorite photo of, you and your partner. You know what I mean? It's like, but the Bagua really helps take the guesswork out of what artwork are we going to pick and where is it going to go? Because right now, I know it's like, that's what's so hard about when you are starting from scratch and you're like, I don't even know where to begin. And so the Bagua just makes that such a much more simple, it takes the guesswork out. That's what I always like to say. And then also when we're looking at the 5 elements, a lot of times, like when we take our 5 element assessment, we can figure out what do you actually need to feel in balance? Like, what do you personally need? And then that helps you go, okay, I know I need some wood element, or I know I need earth, or I know I need water. And then you can add that element in with your artwork. And it just helps you, like, instead of just trying to pick out of the air, like, what do I do? It helps have a guideline to go, okay, this helps me narrow it down. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, definitely. And the elements I really get. I'm really good at making sure all the elements are there. First, it's just like a weird thing with the artwork, and but using the Bagua, I think, will really help. Yeah, really, just to start. So then your eye is now honing in on the things that are potentials for that space.
Yep, that's yeah. And we talk about that a lot in my program, really like dialing in what it is. A lot of times people will post pictures like, okay, I'm thinking about this artwork for my external recognition area or my prosperity corner. What do you guys think? You know what I mean? And it becomes kind of a fun process to have feedback as well. Okay, so I think, so the other thing about artwork is when you are thinking about artwork, sometimes even thinking about it from the idea of it being an investment in your home, and really an investment in yourself. Because a lot of times, even if you are going to spend money on art, making that investment just really kind of generates that energy within yourself. And then every time you're looking at that, you're like, oh my God, I absolutely love that. And it's anchoring this corner. And it really kind of sets that energy, that tone of prosperity. Okay, so that is artwork. Let's see here. And then tip number 7 is to activate your front door. So from a Feng Shui standpoint, the front door represents the mouth of the Qi, the mouth of opportunity. So if you've set an intention, but let's say you've set an intention somewhere in your house, but then you still feel like something's not quite happening. Sometimes the energy at the front door is blocked. And so sometimes it's more challenging for you to attract or receive. And so seriously, getting that energy moving at the front door, whether it's sweeping it out or opening it up or adding a chime or something that brings energy to the front door, can be really powerful. And this is really where we really want to activate that energy through the front door, because this is kind of where everything comes from and goes in and out of. I had a client years ago that, this is a great story. She had locked her front door. She wasn't using it, and she was actually using her front door foyer as a storage area, which was kind of interesting. Why? I'm not sure why. But when I asked her, kind of what was going on with her career area, she said, she was like, had kind of like a sad energy. And she's like, my husband's been out of work for 20 weeks and it's been really hard. And it was like this front door was locked and there was storage, there was no energy flow. And so we talked about really like moving the energy, opening up the front door, moving the boxes, activating the door, and really getting that energy moving. And she emailed me like a couple of weeks later after she made those changes, and he had gotten a job. So again, still had to send out resumes, do the thing, but whatever was blocked, that really kind of opened up the energy for the energy to flow, and he could attract his ideal job. So it's really amazing how powerful that front door is. Okay.
Can I ask a question about that, Jen?
Yes.
So currently we're in a rental, and it's very interesting because this entire neighborhood, the front doors, most of them anyway, aren't in the front. The garage is in the front. And
Oh,
so you tend to drive in, get out of your car, go in the house through the garage door.
mhm.
Now, the front door is hidden, like I'm looking at it right now, and then there's a brick wall. So, like there's nothing blocking it, it's open and everything, but I hardly use it except to go out and go for a walk when I'm walking in the neighborhood. So, like, I guess when you said something about chimes, I was kind of thinking like, oh, well, maybe like hang a chime out there to get like
Yeah, bring the energy
something
back.
moving. But I was just kind of like, oh, okay, here's this front door energy that it's like, it's not really blocked, but it's just not in a great, I don't know what you do with that, but.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this, because I love to do feng shui based on what you're actually experiencing rather than just giving like a textbook.
Oh, sure.
Right.
Okay.
So let me ask you this. Do you need, do you and your husband, like, do you feel like you're not being seen for career opportunities? Do you need more? Do you feel like you need more flow of opportunity in your life?
Well, actually, yes. And we're both kind of in a phase right now of really feeling like we want to transition. Like he's at the end of his job career, so to speak, maybe another year and a half, but would do it sooner if he could like kind of get his other businesses going. And then I've got a home-based business, but I have some other things that I want to start doing. And I'm feeling antsy. Like I want some movement here. Like we're even thinking about a move. So it's just, but it does feel stalled. It feels like stalled energy there. So for sure. Yeah. So I would say yes.
Yes, this is a perfect example. So it's like, it's like bringing that energy back. I mean, it could be a water feature, a wind chime, something that gets that energy moving, and using your door so that it's like, even if you're not using it for like day to day, you know what I mean? But like activating that energy and really inviting new energy in.
Okay.
And I have a lot of entrepreneurs in my program that work from home, and also setting up that home office using the Bagua and stuff can be really powerful.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to look at that.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, for sure. Great question. Really great question. Okay. And then the last tip, and thank you guys for hanging out this long. One of the things when I was first getting started with feng shui, one of the things that I started then and that I still do to this day is to write out your intentions. Because again, when you're clear on what it is you want to create, and you're really dialing in your mind and your heart and your space, that's when things manifest. I know there was someone on here when we first got on, they said that they want to use this to manifest. And I have found that you can move stuff around, and that definitely gets the energy going, and adding the 5 elements, definitely important. But when you pair it with writing your intentions, that, and you're really like getting clear, it's amazing how much your life can really change. And we talk about this a lot in my program, because your thoughts are super powerful. And when you get clear on writing your intentions, it's amazing how much this really works to up level the energy. And intentions can be used in different ways. Like I have a client in California who built a beautiful house on Lido, and she put her intentions in the walls. I mean, I have actually quite a few clients that have done that. It's like they write out they're building a house and they put their intentions in the walls. Sometimes that's not possible. But it's amazing how then it's like, that's a really great situation especially when you have a forever home and you really want to make it special. But writing out those intentions helps you get clear, and then the universe can like really line you up with what it is you want to create. And I always like to get like a pretty piece of paper, my favorite pen, and write out stuff. Maybe even take a couple extra rounds in your notebook first before you actually, so it helps you get clear. But writing out your intentions and including them either in the areas of the Bagua or, on a goal sheet, whatever. But that is super powerful. And I can't say enough about the importance of you getting clear. And that's why we started with talking about intentions. Because again, if we're just moving stuff around, we're just kind of moving energy. But when you are pairing it with what it is you really want to create, that's when the energy really locks in. And it's like, that's when the change happens. So I hope I've given you guys a few things to think about. And I just wanted to share, there's a few more things. Any more questions before we go any further? Yeah. Chandra, I can't hear you. Oh, you're on mute. You're still on mute. I can see you're trying to talk, but you're on mute.
Can you, I took it, is it now? Can you hear?
Yeah, you're good.
I have horrible internet here. But if you use it in your home office, do you use your office door then as the front door?
Really great question. Yeah, so we can lay the Bagua down on our whole house or on a specific room.
Okay.
Yep, you can kind of layer it.
I have a question.
What's that?
I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Is it good or bad to have a calendar, an old calendar, as artwork?
Okay, so I think that's a great question. So what's the meaning of the calendar?
I like the graphic that it includes. It's a poster size and it has all these like hula dancers and all of that. And then on the bottom is an annual calendar for 1996. The year has no significance, but I like the picture of it.
So is it just 1 month or do you flip through the whole calendar?
No, it's 1 year. It's a poster size.
Mm-hmm.
And the calendar is on the bottom. So it shows all the months on the bottom of it.
Oh, I don't know. Would you ever want to just cut the dates off and just have the picture?
So I shouldn't have the calendar?
I don't know. I mean, I think that really depends on you. Do you know what I'm saying? I think it depends on which area of the Bagua it's in.
Okay.
And it depends on also what's kind of happening in your life. Do you feel like you're stuck in the past? I don't know.
No.
Okay. Then it might not be anything bad.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a great question. I might look at, it just depends on how much of the calendar is there. I mean, I might even look at seeing if I could take the calendar off, and like just have the picture, maybe get the picture framed if you really like it. Something.
Well, the whole poster's framed.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
No, then that's probably, I think the only thing that I would ask you is, do you feel like you're stuck in 1996?
No. I just like the poster.
There you go. You're fine. Yeah. And that's why we ask, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I'll tell you this. So I've had clients, I had a client once that had 3 clocks that were completely not working, broken, like needed to be repaired, like beyond just like getting battery fixed. And they felt, it was a husband and wife couple, and they it was so ironic because when we first started talking, they were like, gosh, we feel so stuck in time. You know what I mean? And it was like their language. And when we really started to look around, we could see that their clocks weren't working. So it was like holding them in like this past energetic pattern of, time. So that's why I asked about the date, just something that I'd seen before. So yeah. Any other questions before we move forward? Anybody? These are really great questions. I love all of this. Okay. Okay, so let's see here. So I just wanted to share a couple of client stories just to kind of share some of the great, like how powerful Feng Shui is. So my client, Lisa, she's been in my program. She's worked with me for years. Great story. They had moved to Salt Lake City from Seattle. 12 years ago. And at the time, they had been living in this one house and they felt like their prosperity had languished. And so she implemented Feng Shui. We worked together. And then within a year, her husband like got a new job, raise, stock options. She's blown up her business. And then they purchased a second house in in Park City. And then I talked to her just 2 weeks ago, right before Thanksgiving. And now they're selling, they just sold that original house that we did Feng Shui on. And now they're buying a third house in Park City. And she's implemented Feng Shui into her office. She's a financial planner for Raymond James. And last year her business grew 80 times. Now, granted, she's still doing a lot of work on her own, but she also implemented Feng Shui. Her comment to me when I saw her was, Feng Shui works. So it's really powerful how much when you really get these things going, how it can really help you even attract your prosperity. Feng Shui can also be used for your forever home. So Karen, she's my client in Virginia. We've worked together for 16, 17 years. I've worked together with her over multiple houses. And now she designed her forever home. And she loves the mental clarity. She loves the way her house feels. She used the Bagua to really help her identify how she was going to design the house, what furniture, what colors. The whole deal where she placed different rooms, was very strategic by using the Bagua and the 5 elements. So that's just really incredible. And then my client in Raleigh, she used Feng Shui. She wasn't moving, but she needed to rebalance her own emotional and physical well-being and health. And she used the 5 elements and really paired that and made some nice changes in her house. And she really felt like it really impacted and supported her health as she was going through some major, I would say, recovering from some major trauma. And then also Christina, they had moved into a house in Heber. And when she moved in, they had bought the house from someone that had lived there for 20 years, and it didn't feel like their house. And so when working with the Bagua and the 5 elements and her own intentions, and being in the Harmony Blueprint, it really helped her design a plan. So now she feels like their home is their home. The other thing is now they're buying a second home, and she's using the Bagua and the 5 elements to really help her identify which is going to be the best house for them. And then lastly, just another new home. My client Gina, also in Park City, she is very much in her own personal health. And so when she was moving into her space, or her new house, she really wanted to make sure that she had everything set up to support her health and her well-being. So it's really amazing how many different ways you can use Feng Shui, whether you're trying to manifest something, support your health or your prosperity, your relationships. It's really kind of amazing how much it helps. So I have a question for you. Do you feel inspired to optimize the energy in your home? Because if you do, at this point, you kind of have 2 options, right? The first option is you can keep going at it alone. I'll tell you that, and I know this because a lot of people tell me this, there's tons of Feng Shui resources online. But what I also hear is that it's confusing. And it typically will create a sense of uncertainty, and it's going to be slower. You might not actually get a result because you might be reading like 10 different things and then getting confused. So that's one way. So you can keep going on your own, which is a great way if you just kind of want to like learn some basics. The option 2 is to do it together. Over the 20 years, I do have a methodology that really simplifies the process of Feng Shui. It ensures that you get results faster. You're going to make less mistakes. You're going to have a lot more fun. You're going to learn a lot more, and I'll be there along with our really amazing community. Tootsie's part of it, to really, really get your energy going, get a plan going for your house. And it's a great way to just really grow and learn and create a space. So if this is something that you're interested in and you really want to create a peaceful home that enhances your prosperity, relationships, and well-being, then I would like to invite us for a conversation. We can kind of take this conversation a little bit further. And I would love to invite you to schedule a 45-minute Feng Shui discovery session with me. We can do this as a video call or a phone call. This is a great way for us to talk for 45 minutes on a one-to-one. I can help you dial in a little bit more to diagnose what's going on, with the energy in your home. We can start to map out a plan, and we can also see if the Harmony Blueprint would work for you. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. And I'm always honest with you about that if I think it's the right thing. But we can see if this program would help you really up level the energy in your house and mostly enhance the quality of your life. So I like to think that these calls are really a really valuable way to spend on your home if you're really serious about improving the energy. So if this sounds like fun to you, there's 2 ways you can do it. You can go to this elementsofharmony.com/schedule. It takes you right to my schedule. Find a time that works for you. And then I'll call you. Like the system will set up a Zoom call and we could just set that up, or you can just put your phone right on this QR code. It'll take you right to the same place. And what happens is you go right to this page, like a page that looks just like this, where you pick a time and it'll send you a reminder. It'll put it on your calendar, puts it on mine. And then I call you at that time and then we just start talking. We just start, I can learn a little bit more about what you're trying to create and see if Feng Shui is going to help you if I feel like it could. I would love to extend this out to any of you guys. This is kind of how we take your Feng Shui journey, get it really started and get it really dialed. And so that's really it, my friends. Are there any questions or is there anything else that's kind of coming up for everyone?
I have one question.
Yes.
I haven't used any of my one-on-one time with you yet. And now that I'm back into study mode, I was wondering if I would use that same link or website to schedule one of the calls.
You know what, Tootsie, let's do it, because this is going to ask you, this is going to take you to a quick survey. So
okay.
Let's just email and we'll find a time. We can find a time later this week or this weekend for sure.
Yeah, I'm thinking in January. So I want to take December and make a few more changes before I do that. So yeah. I'll reach out.
Reach out and then let's get it on the calendar. Yeah, because the program, just so that everybody knows, there is a whole self-paced and it's lifetime access, but there is a lot of one-to-one. Like there's one-to-one with me, as well as we have a really great community. We have bi-weekly calls. So there's a lot of support. All right, let me see here. Excellent information. Thank you. She's got to run. Okay, cool. All right. So it sounds like, are there any other questions? Is there anything else that I can help anybody with while we're still on today?
I was really delighted to hear that you had gone to the Western School of Feng Shui, because I was, as this was kind of coming back up for me again and feeling like I have space for this in my life, I found that school. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh man, because I had been on the East Coast for a long time, and I think there's a school out there, but are there only like a couple in the US?
You know what? I'm not really sure.
That's almost from what I was looking around at, it seemed like there were only 2, and one was East Coast and there was that one on the West Coast, because I saw that in San Diego. It looked like a great, I just wasn't quite ready to jump full tilt into that. I might be at some point, but yeah, it seems like this could be a nice segue into like what I would like to do more with this in the future. So I'll definitely get on your schedule though.
I would love that. Well, yeah. And thank you for saying that. Yeah. And my program, I mean, the Western School, I'll be honest, Tara is amazing. And you can even check out my YouTube channel. Like I interviewed her this year, and she's amazing. She's one of my favorite people on the planet. But it's really designed if you want to like start a business, if you want to be a Feng Shui practitioner.
Okay.
So my program is really designed for the individual homeowner. You know what I mean? Or even rent. Do you know what I mean? It's like and we work together over time. So,
well, I see that. And that question still remains to be seen. I mean, I've kind of throughout the years thought of myself as like, wow, that could be a cool career. I guess it just kind of depends on the direction my life ends up going. So, start start at the basics. I guess
Yeah,
that's the way
but
I
this,
see
my
it.
program is based on what I've learned there, and then also what I've learned through 20 years of just working with hundreds of clients.
Yeah,
So
because I saw that she has like a whole portal community and all these
Right.
amazing things, and I'm like, whoa! Like she's obviously been doing this a long time, but seemed like she had some like a lot of really cool courses in other parts of the world, and then COVID hit, and so it's like I don't know where those things are at for her right now, but
I have no idea.
yeah.
My program is in a portal that you have lifetime access to.
Oh, cool.
And
Okay.
then we have an online community where you can ask questions like 24/7, 365.
Okay.
You have access to all the resources, and then we have bi-weekly Q&A calls. So every Monday at 6 p.m. Mountain Time and Wednesdays at 2, you can hop on those calls
Okay.
whenever and ask questions. It's like a small classroom setting where you get a lot of attention and you get to be inspired by the other people on the calls.
Got it.
I
Yeah.
really like your
that's
new
great.
website, Jen.
Oh, thank you. Oh, you went to, yeah, because I moved to school. I just moved the whole portal to a whole new school. So
Everything's there.
I got us off Facebook.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. So I'll definitely get on your schedule in the next few weeks, like probably, before, definitely in the next, my daughter's coming in from Italy in a couple weeks so I'll try to do it between now and then.
Yeah. Let me know. And I think the calendar goes out about 8 days. So if you need a date after that, just reach out to me.
Okay.
Send a text or messenger,
Okay.
email, whatever.
Messenger. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sounds
just,
good.
we can find a date and we'll just put it on. I'll send you a Zoom link and then we'll chat.
Okay. That sounds great.
Yeah, it was
Well,
so
nice
good
to meet you
everyone.
all.
Yeah, likewise. Is there anybody else? Let's see who else is still on here. Hi.
I'm still here. I have a quick question for you.
Yes.
So I have an unusual sort of townhouse condo. I have a lovely front door entrance. And then I don't have any windows on the one side. I have two really large patio doors, one off my living room, one off my bedroom. And then the second bedroom has a window. And I feel like sometimes with the patio doors, it just feels like there's a lot of energy that can be sucked out. So I do have, I've got curtains and lots of plants around my living room, and it's more of my bedroom that I just recently added a couple more plants that it kind of feels a little bit better, but it's very vast.
Oh, the room is big?
It just feels, it feels large with the door on the wall, and it needed definitely some containing.
Right. So what do you feel like is your biggest challenge?
Right now I'm doing a massive career change. So, sometimes it is getting up in the morning and getting going with my day and getting organized. Cause I'm not working right now, and I've been off since May, and I'm just going to be in the next couple months, hopefully getting online business going. So that's the direction I'm headed.
That's exciting. Yeah. Metal energy. Typically entrepreneurs need metal energy to have the routine and have the order and have the structure in your house and in your environment that supports you. I work with a lot of entrepreneurs, and it's usually metal energy that they need to really kind of pull all of that together.
I do sleep underneath a beautiful gold. It's a metal print of a palm.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, metal print of a palm.
Yeah. Yep. And then from an entrepreneur standpoint, having one place that you can really call your own. So you're not, sometimes as entrepreneurs, we float kitchen table, dining room table, sofa, desk, bed. And what I like to recommend is find one space so that when you get in to go to work, you're in the zone.
That makes a lot of sense. I do bounce from the couch to the little area that I had set up. So
You're not the only one.
Yeah.
I work with a lot of entrepreneurs all over the country. And I even have a couple guys in my program, and it's get your office really anchored. Cause I have a couple entrepreneur guys that are running 7 and 8 figure businesses. And they came to me and they're like, I want my office super dialed. because they're running high level businesses, and and it's like getting them into one place so that they can focus is like the biggest, and eliminating distractions is the biggest thing for entrepreneurs that are working from home, and having that structure.
Yeah, and it's a first. So I, like, all last year and the beginning of this year, I was working outside of my home. I feels like I was the opposite of everyone. I'm just now in my house and, like, not quarantining, but I've been a little bit more of a hermit, and so yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Well, if you'd like to talk a little bit more, schedule time and we can kind of dial in a plan a little bit more.
Awesome. Thank you.
Sounds good. Let me see. There's somebody in chat. Let's see.
Hi, it's Jamie.
Oh, hi.
Hi, I'm iPhone 4. I didn't realize that's what it was when I popped in, but sorry about that.
Okay.
I am self-employed. I do work out of my home. I do actually have my office in the love corner of the map. I previously told you I did work with somebody who I did not like.
Oh, right.
I spent like 2 hours on the phone with her, and I decided this week that I'm going to be moving to like one of the Carolinas. I'm in Jersey currently. So she told me to get rid of my bedroom furniture because it's mirrored.
Okay.
I'm single. That part of my life is lonely. So I'm possibly interested in, because I'm going to be going between Christmas and New Year's, driving to South Carolina, North Carolina to see places. My lease is up here in May. It's going to happen very quickly. My essential oil girl believes in Feng Shui wholeheartedly and has encouraged me. I'm at the present moment going through and purging ex-boyfriend pictures, letters, cards, because she told me to do that. I just stopped at my mom's house to do that. So I literally am doing that this moment on my couch. So I'm in the mindset of purging, moving. I'm open to changes because of the move.
Yeah, for sure.
If like my Pier 1 furniture, no, I'm not ready to get $3,000 furniture. Like I'm sorry, I'm just not. But I've heard it twice. I'm moving out of state. I'm open to this. So I don't know if we should set up a call, if that's kind of the route to go with or not. Like, I have a picture in my office of a single girl that I put online yesterday to sell. Like, okay, that's my relationship corner, single girl in my office. Terrible. And
well,
my sister,
it depends on what you want. Okay, so it depends on what you want. So if you're like, I'm like empowered being by myself right now, then I'm all for it. If you're like, I really want a relationship, then probably not.
My sister gave it to me. We're not talking. I don't even want to move it. Like, that's like, I mean, I'd really rather not throw it out. So I'm kind of at the place where it can hang up there until I sell it. And I don't want to meet anybody in Jersey now that I know that I want to move. So it should stay there for all I want, right? Kind of my.
Does it empower you?
I don't look at it. It doesn't. It's too high. It's just there. It means nothing anymore.
Oh, it means something.
It takes up the spot in the wall. I'm in my office like 10 hours a day. Like Tuesdays are my day off. Otherwise, I'm constantly in my office. So I'm always
on some level, however you're feeling about that piece of artwork, it's an energy that's in there. Even if
there was a curse on it, my energy coach Tina cleared it. Oh. So there was stuff that was attached to that she cleared. So I don't know if I should just say fuck it, excuse me, and throw it out and not be attached to it, or try to sell it and give it to someone else for a lot cheaper. Like, I mean, I could walk it to the dumpster right now if you're like, hey, get rid of it.
It's not really how I feel, it's how you feel about it. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like the top line, the bottom line is, how do you feel about that piece?
It's not moving with me. So I'm not attached to it anymore. I've made that decision, and I'm an Aquarius. Like, once, like, I'm like, lines drawn, I'm out.
Then sell it.
It's up online. So it's going to stay up on the wall until I sell it. If I don't sell it by the time I move, it's going in the trash.
There you go.
Okay. So.
But it's empowering, because then you're like, I know this is my relationship corner. You know what I mean? It's like, and then you can make a decision.
I didn't realize the map was like, I didn't realize how important the map was, and filling out the entire square. Like, I have holes. And so she wanted me to put that crystal, because I feel lonely. I don't have friends. I'm like out in Timbuktu by myself. Like, So I'm not close to my family. I'm like isolated. And I partially did it to myself because I don't like these people anymore. So I'm removing myself from situations that no longer serve me.
Sure.
I sell crystals. Like, I don't do anything important. I'm home in pajamas and sweats all day. Like, happy-go-lucky kind of vibe chick. But people don't like people that heal and work on themselves. And so I'm extremely lonely and I don't have kids. I had to say goodbye to that life of mine. So I'm 40, I'll be 44. I have to unfreeze eggs. Like, so there's a lot of shifting in my life and I'm missing that part of the partner.
Maybe take the single girl down then.
Okay.
Yeah. If you don't want to be single anymore, honey, then take it down.
But I don't want to meet anybody here. Like now, like I'm decisions.
It doesn't mean like if you take it down, you're just saying it doesn't mean that like he's gonna. Well, what if he did?
Fuck no, and now I want to move. So now like I'm trying to move. Like I don't want to stay in Jersey. I'm like 95% aligned with the Carolinas, 18% with New Jersey. New Jersey is not. I don't want snow anymore. Like I'm done. I'm out. Peace out.
100% understand. I get it. But what you could do is just take it down, let it rest or sell it or throw it out, whatever, and then just leave the space bare. That doesn't mean that you're going to meet Mr. Right tomorrow,
okay,
unless you take that action, unless you like set that intention.
No, I don't want to right now. So that's kind of where.
Probably, if you really don't want it to happen, chances are pretty slim anyway.
Correct, because I've been single for, I mean, the trauma that I had to go through and still healing it is, I saw pictures and I was like, so, 6 years later, still attached. So, okay, it's coming down.
Yeah. And if you want to talk more, set up a call. We can talk a little bit more.
Because I'm really like, it's really concerning me about moving since I do work at home and moving into a new space. Like I want to get a 3-bedroom apartment. Like it has, like
yeah, Feng Shui is going to help you create, not only like, it'll help you like move out of the place you are, it'll help you create the plan for the new place, and it'll help you set your intentions so that your new space attracts what you do want, whether you want a relationship or not.
Yeah, I do. I want that, get married, walk down the beach.
I get it.
Okay. All right.
I get it.
Thanks.
So yeah. So grab a spot on my calendar. Let's see. I got chills when you were talking about that picture. It makes me feel like a burn pile to me. Oh my God, 40. Okay, so that's you. Okay, got it. Okay, perfect. Well, this was really great. I loved meeting all of you guys. Was this valuable to you guys?
Massively. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And again, I would just love anybody that wants to continue the conversation, learn a little bit more about Feng Shui, learn about the Harmony Blueprint, and really change your life. Get on my calendar. I'll put it up one more time. Oh, no, now it's not gonna. Well, that's the way. Anyways, there it is. If anybody wants to, I'd love to meet with you guys. And it was really, really nice meeting and connecting with you guys. And if there's no more questions, then we'll sign up. We're a little bit late. I'm sorry we went a little bit over, but it is what it is.
Thanks, Jen.
Thank you. Anything else, guys?
It's always nice to have refreshers.
Yeah, for sure. And I would also like to just remind you, because you guys are all in my Facebook group, to under the guides tab, there's lots of resources in there. You can go to my YouTube channel, check out like new videos there. I do it like a video or 2 a week. And then anytime you want to reach out for a discovery call, just let me know.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. And thanks so much for hopping on today.